Hey guys, I'm back with another DIY for you. I picked up these frames and I just wanted to do something special with them. So if you want to see how I created the paper flower and the actual paintings, then keep watching. So for this DIY, you want to have some cardstock or you can use poster board, some scissors, and you need a hot glue gun. So first we're going to create the small petals. You want to take a sheet of paper, cut it in half, and then cut those halves into thirds. So you're just going to take one of those pieces and start cutting a petal shape. Once you get to the top of the petal, just make a jagged edge that comes to a slight point at the top. Now for the medium-sized petals, you just want to cut the piece of paper in half and then cut the halves in another half. So you should have 4 pieces. You're just going to do the same thing that you did for the small petals, but just make them slightly bigger. And then for the large petals, you're gonna do the same thing. What I did was just took one of the medium-sized petals and put it on a sheet of paper and kind of use that as a reference as to how big to make the larger petals. Also use the cardstock to cut out a circle just to have something to glue the petals down on. So now you just want to pinch the bottom of the petals while folding and gathering the paper together. This is going to create a bend in the petals and really make it look realistic. So now we're going to take the medium-sized petals and start to glue those onto the circle. And then you're going to do the same thing with the larger petals. Just make sure you place them behind the medium petals, but in between. And then finally, you're going to take your small petals and just place them in the middle, just like you did the medium and the large petals. To make these flowers look even more realistic, I'm just going to start adding folds in the middle of the petals. And you can also take something round, like a pin, to just add more dimension to your flower. To make the middle part of the flower, you're just going to take some of your scrap paper and start cutting strips. And you're just going to start adding these little cuts throughout the entire strip. Once you've gotten all of your strips cut, you're just going to roll them up until it's about the size of a quarter. And then you're just going to glue it directly in the middle of the flower. And once you do that, you are done. So now we're going to move on to the actual painting part. I know this seems like it could be a little scary, but it's actually pretty easy. For this, you're going to need the same paper that you used earlier, some paint. I personally use the paint that I painted my living room wall with. You're also going to need a round synthetic brush, and you're going to need a cup of water. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is you're going to dip your brush into the water, and then you're going to start to paint your desired shape onto the paper. This is going to stop the paint from bleeding, so this part is very important. And from there, I just take a lot of the water and really dilute that paint. Once you do that, you just start to add it to your paper, and you can just keep adding more and more paint until you get the painting to look exactly how you want it to look. Every painting is going to look different, but for the most part, this is how your painting should look. And since I wanted my painting to have a blue background, I just took a large piece of paper and painted it blue, just so I could have that as my background. So now you can see how it looks once I put the paintings and the frame together. Since this particular frame from IKEA didn't have a good way to hang up the picture, I had to buy these picture hangers from Target, and I just nailed those onto the back of my frames. I just used some of the papers that came with the frame and just lined those up and made marks so I could know exactly where I had to hang up my frames. So here you can just see me lining up my frame and then also making a mark just to make sure I know exactly where to drill my hole. I personally like to use anchors for this type of hanging. So you can just see me drilling the hole into the wall, putting the anchor in, and then also putting the screw in. So for this middle frame, I wanted it to be different than the other two paintings. So I got rid of the glass and I just put the flower in the middle. And then here you can see me hanging up the other two paintings. So this is the finished product. I absolutely love it. It was super simple, so cheap. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon.